It's episode 50 of Origin PC Live. 50.
It's a big one.
It's a big one. We're old.
Over the hill.
Let's go into the intro. Hey everyone, my name's Alexis, the community man with the plan here at Origin PC, and I've recently become addicted to VR, specifically Beat Saber. It's really crazy.
Nice. And I'm Sydney, the marketing admin at Origin PC. This is my second appearance on Origin PC Live.
Yeah, rocking.
Filling in for Kevin. And something interesting about me is I like Chipotle. I really like Chipotle.
Chipotles. I like Chipotle. My stomach does not. Here's a quick recap for the new viewers of Origin PC Live. This is a show where we talk about the latest in gaming and geek news, and we'll chat it up with a special guest. This week's special guest is Eugene Elkin, a project lead from Survios Studios, creators of the recently launched Creed, Rise to Glory, which restreamed recently on Tuesday. Was it?
Yeah, it was Tuesday.
Yeah, cool.
You can interact with us by posting in the chat or making comments. We'll be looking for your feedback, and later on in the show, we'll be answering any of your questions you may have. At the end of the show, we'll be announcing the Post of the Week winner, who will be winning a copy of the brand new game, Immortal Unchained.
Didn't even look at the script. What a pro. What a professional. Already outdoing me on Origin PC Live, of course. Let's kick off the show, shall we?
All right.
Our first story is about some exciting crossplay news. Earlier this week, Sony announced an open beta for crossplay with Fortnite. Now, PlayStation players can finally play with PC, mobile, Switch, and Xbox players in the Battle Royale mode. And I can also bring my account over to the Switch finally. This marks a change of policy, as Sony had previously not allowed crossplay despite Fortnite having it enabled. That was a really confusing sentence, sorry. This is an open beta, and Sony has noted that other games might follow Fortnite. Red Dead, please. Epic has also revealed that players who created a second account will be able to merge the accounts. This all comes as Season 6 for Fortnite Battle Royale goes live. Thoughts on this awesome, awesome news, Sydney?
This is really, at first the news came really shocking because
I know, super exciting.
I would have never thought ever in gaming console history we would see a crossover like this from PlayStation, Switch, a Nintendo, Xbox, something like this happening. And with a game like Fortnite that's been breaking like history records for gaming in general, whether you like Fortnite or not, to be able to allow PlayStation or to kind of be, kind of get PlayStation on the ball to be like, hey, let's all do this cross-playable thing. I think it's the most epic crossover we'll see this century. And I think a lot of people are very grateful for this. I know maybe a lot of PlayStation players are probably really grateful to be able to play with friends that are on their other platforms. And I'm grateful. I'm not a PlayStation player, but I'm really grateful that this is something that's going to be allowed to happen, and I'm looking forward for the future for gaming in general, especially for online multiplayer games.
Same here. I never thought I'd see the day that PlayStation would finally give up on their needless being against Xbox and Switch and all this competition, and finally give players what they wanted. So now everyone can play together, which is fantastic. I'm hopeful for the future. I'm really excited to see what else they bring to crossplay. Maybe the Call of Duties or Battlefield or Red Dead Redemption Online. That's the one I'm hoping for more than anything, because I'm actually considering buying 2 copies for the Xbox and for the PlayStation to be able to play with all my friends, because that, as you may or may not know, is my favorite game ever, and I'm so excited about it. What's next in the news, Sydney?
The next story is about a VR device revealed by the Oculus team. This week they introduced the Oculus Quest, a wireless and standalone VR headset that also includes Oculus Touch controllers. It will be sold alongside the Oculus Go and the PC-powered Oculus Rift. Oculus also revealed that a new Star Wars VR experience will be coming to Oculus Quest, focusing on Darth Vader. Any thoughts on this new headset, Alexis?
This is a really, really cool story. Total surprise, too, that they did. I mean, they've already had the wireless standalone headset, which is the Oculus Go, but it's very, very minor. It doesn't really track 360, and it didn't have controls. The Oculus Quest brings the Oculus Rift gameplay to a PC-less platform, which is very interesting. I'm super intrigued to see the type of quality of games that we'll get. From the reviews I've read, there's definitely some differences. You get to see a lot more with the Rift. Obviously, it's being powered by a high-powered GPU. But the fact that it's bringing it to a wider community is great, especially for PC gamers, because we'll probably have more people coming onto the PC platform because of this. Much like consoles, where a lot of people would start off with a console, myself included, and thought to themselves, man, I love this so much. I want more. I want better graphics. I want cooler things to be able to do. That's what got me into PC. I believe that the same thing is going to happen with the Quest, where people will try VR for the first time and see how neat and awesome it is, and then be like, man, I want to see what it is to play this on a PC, and then make the leap. So very, very cool. Congrats to Oculus. That's an awesome, awesome thing. I'm having a blast with the Rift myself, and this seems like a cool thing to get. Probably might do it in the holidays just to be able to show it off to my family and bring it wherever I go. So pretty neat. What do you think?
I think it's gonna, the Star Wars having a VR experience, I think that's the awesome. Perfect franchise to have a VR experience. Like, honestly, I can imagine everyone looking like Luke Skywalker in the Millennium Falcon when he puts on that like VR looking headset thing to like have his coordination with the Force and his lightsaber. So I think that would be really cool. And honestly, it'll allow a lot of people to enter into the VR experience. I think it would appeal more to a lot of people, not just people who typically game, but people who are into getting immersed in this immersive VR experience. Right.
I completely agree. I think it's going to be a really cool thing. The fact that they're doing exclusives for it, like I think that Star Wars game is an exclusive for the Quest, is a brilliant move. I think it already comes with like 50 games that are available at the store right off the rip. Some of them which are already available on the Rift. There's going to be a downgrade in quality. They're running the same processor but a beefed up version that they used for the Go. So that's going to be powering the whole thing. It's super interesting. The leaps and bounds that this company's taking to be able to do something that's completely wireless. It's standalone. I mean, you can use a completely wide open space because the tracking's all done up front. The possibilities are pretty crazy. I mean, I can imagine running around in a field like as if you were playing an actual game. How cool would that be? That's going to be super neat. All right, now for some Origin PC news. Earlier this week, Hot Hardware reviewed our Evo 15S and gave it a recommended award. Here's what they had to say. Origin PC is known for delivering a high-end boutique PC experience, so on top of its already impressive internal hardware, the Evo 15S also comes with a full backlit keyboard, a FHD 144Hz display, and more expansion slots than even the most diehard enthusiast could use. What do you think about this review and the award for the Evo, Sydney?
Honestly, thank you, Hot Hardware,
thank you.
Recommending our Evo 15S. It's a thin and powerful gaming laptop, so they really recommended that. They were really impressed by the fact like the high performance that could be packed in its smaller cases. And so if you're someone who's looking to take your PC gaming on the go but very portable and still have like a high quality performance PC basically standard experience, you can have it in your laptop. And so we really thank you, Hot Hardware, for all the kind words and for having that review be posted out there. We really
and congrats to our tech marketing team who sets up these reviews. We've been getting some stellar reviews lately, and thanks to them, they've been doing a great job. The Evo is fantastic. It's one of my favorite laptops, super thin and portable. Like Sydney said, you can take gaming on the go, but also as a content creator, if you create content, one of the major things about content creators that I hear from working within the industry for so long now is that every time they have to leave to an event or some sort of obligation where they need to travel and they can't stream, they lose a ton of followers, they lose a ton of subscribers, their progress is kind of shot. So being able to take something like this that can handle streams on the go is fantastic for streamers and content creators in general. So yeah, the Evo is awesome. Check it out. OriginPC.com. Plug. Blatant plug of the week in the middle of the news segment. What's next in the news?
Kicking off our geek news is
Geek
a new
news.
wave of trailers for anticipated movies this fall and beyond. We got trailers for Bumblebee, Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald, Creed 2, and X-Men: Dark Phoenix. These just came out at the start of the fall movie season, where several of these movies will be hitting theaters real soon. Any thoughts on these new trailers, Alexis?
Creed 2 is the only one I've seen, obviously, because I'm a humongous Rocky fan. And it looks fantastic. The other ones I'm probably going to check out this weekend, but the movie lineup is looking hot. I'm super excited. I haven't actually been to a theater in a really long time, so probably going to at least enjoy Creed 2 and X-Men in the movies for sure. What do you think? Are you excited for any of the titles?
Yes, I watched pretty much all of them. I'm a huge fan. When I go to the movies, I like to get there early, not only to get a good seat and get my snacks, but I like to watch the trailers.
Yeah, trailers are fun.
I'm a huge fan of watching trailers in the theaters. But I'm really looking forward to Bumblebee. I really like the Transformers movies that came out a long, long time ago. The first ones with like Shia LaBeouf, but the latest ones were not. They didn't live up to the hype.
No,
I don't think I've seen past like this after the second movie. But I saw this trailer and it kind of gives me like the Herbie Fully Loaded vibes.
Yeah.
Because Bumblebee transforms into a 1970s Volkswagen Beetle.
Of course he does.
But it looks like we're gonna have a new story with our beloved Transformers, and I think they did a really fantastic job on making the actual Transformers look a lot like how they look like in the animated series. So
I only ever saw the first Transformers movie, and that was even rough for me. I know I was never a fan of the movie franchise. Huge fan of the original cartoons, though. They were fantastic. So we got some streaming news. Are you ready for some football? Football fans, Amazon announced that they would be streaming Thursday Night Football via Amazon Prime and free on Twitch throughout this NFL season. Pretty cool. This will also be co-streaming with Twitch streamers as well as Twitch football-themed emotes, which is awesome. So if you're a fan, you'll probably get your own emote for your team, which is very neat. What do you think about this availability, Sydney?
I think this is really cool, and I think it really goes to show how like Twitch and live streaming has been making waves as a media consumption platform, because you have something that people pay for to watch on TV now being moved to be aired for free on Twitch.
Yeah.
Because this will be free. You can watch your Thursday Night Football games on Twitch. And I think what's really cool is the whole having the Twitch personalities being able to commentate on these football games. Like, can you imagine like Dr. Disrespect commentating a game?
Probably see it.
Like, that would be so cool. And I think there's definitely people who are football fans that, you know, are on Twitch.
Right.
And I think it just opens a huge door of opportunities for other things to be available on Twitch and to have Twitch streamers have their twist on these things. So.
I agree. I think it's completely crazy that we're seeing football, NFL, on Twitch. That's insane to me. What's really good about this is that it's going to bring a ton of new people to the platform, which is great for the platform in general, because eventually they'll be like, well, football's done. What else can I see on here? And then discover new streamers. So I think it's great for the platform in general and everyone involved. That's humongous news. So before we go on to the next segment, just want to give a quick shout out to everyone in chat. Thank you guys for joining us and watching Origin PC Live. I see a lot of highs happening in chat, so I love you guys. You're amazing. Apologies to Mixer, our Mixer fam. For some reason, Restream and Mixer had a compatibility issue today, so we were not allowed to stream on there. As well as Facebook. Facebook's been giving us issues, as you might know, for those that were watching us there before, which we're trying to resolve. So hopefully we'll be back on Facebook and Mixer by the next Origin PC Live. Apologies. But join us here on Twitch. I mean, I guess if you're watching, you're already there. Yeah. And YouTube and Twitter. Thank you guys for tuning in. For those on Twitter, if you want to chat with us, join us either on YouTube or Twitch so we can be able to see what you're saying. All right, up next.
Special shout out to Blue Microphones for these incredible mics for using on the show. We're kicking off is the recent releases. And
Blue mics.
For our recent releases this week, we got Creed, Rise to Glory.
Yeah.
On PC and PS4. Fight opponents in the ring as you make your way to the championship. You can train with Rocky Balboa and do your own training at the gym. You can also play online in PvP.
This game is crazy good. We played it on Tuesday. I've played it since too at home, and I'm having a blast with it. Man, is it hectic when you're in those PvP matches? It's definitely, I think it's the best PvP thing available on VR right now. It's hilarious to box with the people and be able to talk crap. You can actually hear them breathing heavy. Like the one guy that I fought here was so funny. We went 8 rounds, and towards the end of it, like you can hear him breathing. He had to take a break after. He did beat me, so kudos to him. But now I'm thinking my strategy is going to be to let the player on the other end tire out and then come in later rounds. Like it's actually a thing that could work for this game, which is hilarious. It's a ton of fun. If you have a VR system, either the Oculus, the Vive, or even the PSVR, I highly recommend picking this title up. It is well worth it, especially if you're a boxing fan. Also releasing this week is a new DLC for Pillars of Eternity 2 called Seeker, Slayer, Survivor. Fight in an arena, testing your combat capabilities and fight difficult enemies to prove your worth. Super excited for yet another DLC for Pillars of Eternity 2. This game is humongous as is. For them to keep adding DLC to it and expanding it even further is crazy. As it came vanilla, it was already like 60 plus hours of gameplay. So now with these additional ones, it's got to be reaching the 100 mark or more. That's crazy to me. Crazy to me.
Also releasing this week is FIFA 19 on
We
PC
notice you.
and other platforms. Play with your favorite teams in this year's FIFA title. Create your ultimate team and play a new career mode. You can also play against others online or locally.
I absolutely adore FIFA, and every year they make some sort of improvements to it. It's looking better and better. The story mode is really what's dragged me into it. I love the story mode. Rounding out the recent releases this week is Valkyrie Chronicles 4 on PC, or is that Valkyria? Chronicles 4 on PC and other platforms. Fight on a tactical turn-based battlefield in this hand-drawn, third-person strategy game. Experience a new story, new units, and tactical options. This one looks super interesting. 9 out of 10 from Game Informer. Wow. Hey. Ayo. Cool. Congrats to them. Congrats to all the people that we mentioned. Up next is Blatant Plug of the Week. Bleep, blop, bloop, blop, bleep. Our September promo is still running. Take advantage of it while you can. There's only, 2 days left? 3 days left? Is there a 31st in this month?
There's 30.
Only 30. So 2 days left for the promo. Take advantage on OriginPC.com. Free U.S. ground shipping, a free $410 bundle from Intel, free Star Trek Online Gamma Vanguard starter pack, and a free digital Steam key for Shroud of the Avatar, plus your choice of a $50 Amazon Visa gift card, or Origin PC Visa gift card, excuse me, or a free 250 gigabyte M.2 from Western Digital. Check that out immediately. Our World of Tanks promo is still going strong. How much longer do we have on this, Lewis? Anywhere?
Next week.
Next week this ends, so this is another one. Check that out at originpc.com/World of Tanks. We're also doing the giveaway, which also ends next week, which you could sign up via the Intel link that we provided on social media. Someone can possibly post that in chat for me. That'd be fantastic. Sign up for your chance to win either a laptop or a desktop. It's your choice. If you win, it's pretty cool. As we mentioned earlier, there's 2 days left for the Torchlight Frontiers Origin PC themed giveaway. You can sign up to this at www.originpc.com/Torchlight Frontiers. Make sure to do so because there's only 2 days left. If you haven't done it already, it's the only way you're going to win if you sign up. There's another giveaway that we're running too, which I don't see here. Oh, there it is. Beautiful. For a chance to win one of 6 hard drives. We have 2 SSDs, 2 external SSDs, and 2 M.2s from Toshiba to give away. So please check this out at bit.ly/Toshiba-Origin PC. We teamed up with Toshiba for this awesome giveaway. I've actually been using that external SSD, and it's fantastic. I love it. It's super fast, and I can just take files with me anywhere, which is super handy.
And now it's time to talk about Eat, Sleep, Game, Repeat, where we talk about the games we're playing. This
I've been
segment,
playing so many.
This segment is sponsored by the Origin PC Gear Shop, where you could buy your very own Eat, Sleep, Game, Repeat t-shirt. We're not wearing, but it's awesome. We wore it last week. Yeah. should check it out.
Check it out.
Alexis, what are you eat, sleep, game, repeating?
So a lot of VR. We'll start off with Creed, which I talked about earlier. I've been having a blast with Creed. It is so much fun. We have Survios on today, and it's no coincidence. We played their game on Tuesday when it released, and I've been playing it at least a match a night because it's so much fun at home. It gets you tired. It gets you really. It's a great workout. The other title I've been rocking is Beat Saber. I'm super addicted to Beat Saber. I love rhythm games. They're so cool. And this one's so immersive and really puts you into it. What's cool that I've discovered when you download the mod where you can add songs that the community's created, a lot of those songs, like a lot of the styles when you're actually doing the movements with the sabers, is the dance moves that you would do. Like, for example, I had a Gangnam Style, PSY. And like part of it is like you're actually doing the swiping and the leaning, like you're doing that little weird dance move he does in the video. It's a ton of fun. If you love rhythm games, I can't recommend Beat Saber enough to you guys. It is a blast. There's tons of content there. I always find myself telling myself, like, oh, one more song. I'll do one more song. I'll do one more song. By the end of it, I'm drenched in sweat. I've never been more sore in my entire life.
Oh my gosh.
I've been doing it every night, and I'm exhausted. This week's been brutal for me. What have you been playing?
I've been playing a lot of Halo 5 Guardians, and that's mostly because I discovered a new game type. It's not new, but it's new to me. It's Warzone, and the best way to describe it, it's like if Halo had a battle, like if Battlefield was in Halo.
Yeah.
So
Warzone's always been my favorite.
But it's a lot of fun, and who doesn't like Halo? I think every Halo game is very Halo-y.
Very Halo-y.
And it's,
as Halo-y as Halo-y gets. Yeah. This one's amazing. It's an amazing game. I agree with you.
Yes.
Very well done. All right, up next, we got Check This Out. Thank you, Elgato, for providing the Stream Deck and capture card in our streaming PC. And check this out. We talk about anything we've been checking out. This includes movies, TV, music, tech, gadgets, whatever it is. What have you been checking out, Sydney?
I've been checking out, actually this week I started The Tomorrow People. And it's a CW show, and that's the reason why I started watching it, because in a few weeks, all the shows that I mainly watch are all CW shows, which is Arrow, The Flash, Supergirl, Riverdale. I'm a huge fan of those shows, and so I decided, hey, I'm going to check this show out. And so far, it's pretty good. It's like a sci-fi drama, and basically it involves...
Wasn't this guy in The Flash, the main dude? Wasn't he one of the...
No, he's actually the brother of the guy who plays Arrow.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's
cool.
That's Robbie Amell, I believe, and his brother Stephen Amell, who plays Oliver Queen.
I thought he was in the... Wasn't he the guy that like died and then came back as a flame dude? Or is that someone else?
He was in another show.
Right?
It
He
was
in Flash.
in The Flash. Yeah, he wasn't.
really?
I thought you were talking that he was like Barry Allen. I was
No,
like, no,
he's
he
not
was in The
Barry Allen.
Flash. But no, the show's interesting so far. It involves people who are discovering that they're superhuman, and they have these like teleporting and
like most
telekinesis powers.
CW shows.
Yeah, like most. It's a very typical CW show.
I think every CW show is about mutants discovering their powers. Tune into CW if you want to see the craziest mutant origin stories ever, over and over again.
What have you been checking out?
So since we played Creed on Tuesday, I decided to borrow the Oculus Rift from our studio, and I've been using it at home. And that's my check this out, the Oculus Rift. I was never really big into VR before, but the improvements and the amount of content that's available now has really just made me a fan. I've been playing it with my family, which is great. It's so funny to introduce, especially the older generation of my family, to VR and seeing how they react to it. Some of the I try to put like the scariest stuff for them just to see how they react. It doesn't work out that well. And also sharing it with my godson and my nephews has been such a treat. It's such a fun experience. The amount of content available is mind-blowing now. Even the free content, it's just nonstop. There's a few that I've purchased, which I just wanted to. Actually, two. Beat Saber being one of them, which I just talked about. And then the other one's Pavlov VR, which is like Counter-Strike in VR.
Cool.
And it's so funny. Like there's so many different game modes, and a lot of them are hilarious. And just the community in VR is such a unique thing. Like VR chat's another really funny one. The community is just hilarious. It's hilarious in there. Like everyone is super nice and friendly and are trying to teach members to do things, and it's such an experience. And Pavlov, the same thing. Like, there's the amount of times that I've stopped in the middle of a match, like, no, I'm friendly. And, like, then we just sit and chat with each other or try to show each other different tricks with the gun, and then someone else comes and shoots us up from behind. It's so cool, man. I can't wait to see what the future holds for VR. Like, there's one MMO that I've been eyeing. I know there's one available now that's a fantasy MMO, but there's one that hasn't come out yet that I keep seeing on Steam called Meta World. That seems super interesting because you could own land and there's tons of activities to do in the 10,000 acre world that they created, like fishing and diving and hunting and I don't know what else, but that's what I've seen so far, and it looks incredible. I can't wait to see persistent worlds in VR. I think that's what the future of VR really is having those persistent worlds like Ready Player One available in that. So I'm a VR enthusiast now. I'm definitely getting something for the holidays. I'm not sure where it's going to be, the Rift or the Quest. Probably the Rift. I need to be tethered to a PC to get that power. So it's either going to be the Rift or the Vive. I haven't fully decided yet. But I want to see what the next iteration of the Rift is going to be. The Vive came out with the Vive Pro, which is crazy. It's just a little bit out of my price range right now. But the Rift and the Vive themselves have dropped prices, like, big time. The Rift is only $399 now, and the Vive is $499, and that comes with everything. And I can't wait to see what the Black Friday deals are going to be like. It's probably going to be crazy. But yeah, VR is awesome. Don't go anywhere. We're going to go to a quick commercial break. After this break, we'll have Eugene Elkin from Survios Studios. We're going to chat up VR. We're going to chat up Creed and all their other awesome titles. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned.
Rated T for teen.
In the blue corner, Adonis Hollywood Creed.
Hey, you don't look so good. You know, you want to take a day off.
Sorry, Rock. Just thinking about what it took to get here.
Good. One step at a time. One punch at a time. One round at a time. You trained for this. You're ready for this. You earned this.
Adonis Creed, son of one of the world's most Xbox kings.
It ain't how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
Welcome back, and shout out to AMD for the Ryzen Threadripper powering our streaming rig. It's time to chat with Eugene Elkin, a project lead at Survios Studios, the developers of the recently released Creed Rise to Glory. Eugene has been working in the game industry for several years and is now working on VR titles with Survios. Speaking of VR, Creed Rise to Glory just launched on PC and PS4 this week. Immerse yourself in the Rocky Creed universe as you train and fight your way to the top. You can train in gyms and even train in the meat locker. Congratulations on the game launch, Eugene, and thank you for joining us. How are you doing this Friday?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me on your show. Really excited to be here.
Thank you, man.
Thank you for taking the time to be on our show. And congratulations on the launch of Creed. We just wanted to ask you a couple questions. And so with that being said, how is the team feeling now that Creed's out?
Oh, it's amazing. I mean, it's our fourth game. It never gets old. It's a rush every time you release it. A new game. We've been checking every stream, reading every Reddit post. We're just excited to see what our fans have to say about it.
That's awesome. I know that leading up to launch, how hectic it can get in the studios. I'm sure you guys were keeping busy over there, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. Always busy.
So have you and the team been checking out how the VR community has been reacting to the game? Like, have you been, I know you were saying you were watching streams, but have you been checking out the reviews, checking out the Steam reviews, all that good stuff?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't think there's a single review or a stream or a comment I haven't read. We did an AMA yesterday and made sure we want to listen to our community. If they got issues or if they got suggestions, we take those all very seriously. Even actually today, I think it made it go live now. We got a new update coming out, and it already fixed a few issues that people suggested. I know there was some WMR headsets that were having issues. That's resolved. So we're just very rapidly making sure we're on top of our game and keeping our fans happy.
That's great. I mean, the overall reception, at least from what I've seen, has been extremely positive. So I'm sure you guys are amped about that.
We're ecstatic. It's just nothing but a party here. We're actually having a huge party here already.
Yeah, oh man.
Yeah.
Thank you for taking the time out of your party to join us. That's awesome.
No, it's like I said, it's my pleasure.
And so now that the game is officially out, have you tried, or has anyone on the team tried playing people online in the PvP?
Oh, constantly. We actually, when it was going down for PlayStation, it came out at midnight, and in our office we had a counter down, and the moment it hit midnight, we just jumped into PvP, and it was hilarious because a lot of these people have never played before, and they would just jump into PvP right away, and we took no mercy. We just started annihilating these people. I actually felt kind of bad for a little.
Oh, that's so funny.
Do you have any?
It's really, really fun.
Do you have any tips for playing online?
Yeah, for sure. So the stamina is a really important thing to keep in mind. The more punches you throw, if you're moving around, you're draining your stamina, which is represented on your gloves that will start turning red. So I would highly, definitely suggest and recommend you always keep an eye on your stamina. And you can see the other person's stamina as well, and that kind of alerts you of a good window of attack. So managing your stamina is an absolute key.
Awesome.
And throw punch. Yeah, make sure you block too. I see a lot of people just kind of like actually recreating Rocky movies where they're just throwing
haymakers.
Yeah, haymakers, nothing but haymakers. So definitely block, because blocking drains the other person's stamina as well, so you can get an optimal attack position.
Oh, it's awesome. I'm going to use those tips tonight. So we're talking about the in-game character stamina. What about the real-life person stamina? I need a lot of help.
Oh yeah, it definitely it's a very physical game. It wears you out. The more you play, there's definitely a learning curve. You can jump in and hit and block, but as you get better, you learn there's a dodge mechanic, and it can really sway specifically for single player, because a perfectly dodge will send your opponent to slow motion. And you can just light him up after that. It's a very physical game, but the stamina system is great because it puts everybody in an equal playing field, and it forces people to actually act like a boxer and not come in there just slapping around,
Yeah, for sure. So in Creed, it takes place in the Rocky Creed movie universe. Can you talk about how you and the team made the link between the game and the movies?
Well, MGM is our partner who gave us a Creed IP, and it's great partnership because there was any kind of requirement that it has to relive the story of the first movie or the second movie. They just basically said, we want you to make a great game that lives in the Creed universe.
Right.
And what we really wanted to capture with that is what is it like to be Adonis Creed? What it's like to be a boxer in a movie, not necessarily a boxer in a real life ring, but to experience the cinematic fighting event of a boxer in a movie. So we created some of our own characters. It still lives in a Creed timeline of the first movie leading up into the second movie. But our biggest goal and what we set out to ourselves from the very beginning is we want to be Adonis Creed. We want that magical moments that you experience in a movie, but we want you to act them out.
That's awesome. You guys nailed it. I mean, the montage, the training montage with I'm not going to spoil it, but even some of the fights, how you guys worked that out was incredible. How was it creating one of the most memorable moments in any Rocky movie, the training montage? How did that feel?
Oh, it was amazing. When we first started working on a prototype and a demo, that included, we made the montage, which was, we realized we have to teach people how to fight first.
Right. Before
they jump into the ring. We want to teach them the way you punch matters. The strength matters, the speed, the distance matters of how much your fist travels. So that's why we made these little games, and then we put it to to the Rocky theme music,
Yeah.
Fly High Now, and it was incredible. The moment we played it, the montage, we're like, this is it. We are reliving the montages, that we're used to seeing from the Rocky and the Creed universe, and it was incredible. And that leads you into the fight. It amps you up. It gets you ready to fight. And when you're right there, that this is going to be your game. This is a formula you want to keep.
That's exactly how I felt when I heard Flying High Now coming into the speakers as I'm training. I'm like, oh man, it's time. And you get in there, and it was
once
amazing.
You get the song, I'm like, yes,
Yeah, I
this
know.
is it. This is what we wanted.
I'm so glad it was included in the game. I was wondering too, leading up to it, and then, man, when I heard it, I was like so happy.
Yeah, so you guys did a really great job in making this like a really great boxing experience. So how did you guys were able to break down the mechanics of boxing into a VR experience?
So it was a long iterative process. It starts out with we want punching feeling good, and we spend time like what does it take for all your punches to feel juicy, and it comes with sound and effects and the phantom melee attack that you might have heard us describe before, where that really kind of helps with the collision and the impact. And then we approach the other side of how do we handle getting hit. And as we kept iterating on that, we determined, okay, we've got the basics of boxing, but now we have to put a gaming layer into it. And that's where our stamina system came in and allowed us to really control the fight, where we could kind of like encourage a person to block or to go into an attack. And people were highly skeptical about this stamina at first. I remember reading the Reddit threads, and they were like, why don't you just let me get tired when I get tired? But I think after people try it, it proved to be very successful. So glad we put the whole stamina system in there.
I agree. I think that's very important because people have different, like you said earlier, puts everyone on the equal playing field in a sense.
Exactly.
Because all the players have actual stamina. I mean, people can be in better shape in real life, and you can't experience that game wise. It doesn't really make sense. So I think it's awesome too.
It encourages a person to actually act like a boxer. So we put a professional boxer in it just to see how he played, and I noticed that he never drained his stamina fully once.
Wow.
That means, he was constantly, he was very tactical. He was waiting for the openings. He was throwing a few punches, and we go into a block, and that's how we kind of found the right level of how much stamina to actually give a person before it fully runs out. And just judging by professional boxing.
That's really
That's
cool.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, that was going to be our follow-up. We're going to
follow-up.
ask if you consulted with any real-life boxers, so I'm assuming that the answer is yes.
Yeah, actually, when we started Creed, we brought in for a boxer for consultation. And then we all got so interested in boxing that Survios actually has 2 boxing classes a week.
What?
So we have we have 4 trainers come in. We do pad training. We do like a full workout. I mean, it's great. We've been doing it for almost like a whole year now or something like that. A little less. And it's something that Tuesdays and Thursdays, everything, pencils down, we're going boxing.
I can't imagine going into Survio Studios and everyone's just jacked and like
Oh, yeah. But yeah, especially our QA team. Those guys are monsters.
That's awesome. So how does it feel to be involved with VR game development, especially now that it's on the rise and there's so many cool announcements happening?
It's amazing. I mean, it's incredible. Like, first of all, the VR community is very supportive. Everybody's super excited for everything new coming out. The dev community is amazing because everybody's excited for something new. Rising tide raises all ships type deal.
Right.
And I feel like in gaming, we haven't had this kind of magical moment in a long time where every game, it's uncharted territory, right? Every game comes up with something new mechanic. I'm like, oh my God, that's amazing. Because like games lately have been like, they've just been proving on the tried and true techniques.
Right.
But with VR, it's everything's brand new. We're like, oh, I didn't know I can do that. Oh, they said we shouldn't do that anymore because it'll make, it's not going to work in VR, but we found a new way it does work in VR. And I feel like every title brings something new to the table, and it's incredible.
Man, I completely, I never even thought of that until you mentioned it, that this is the first time in a long time where anything that comes out for VR is super exciting and everyone's just super involved because it's always different. It's always something that we haven't seen before. It really is an exciting time in gaming. I'm having
it's a new frontier.
Exactly. I'm having a blast with it.
And with that being said, do you have any hints as to what Creed players can expect in the future?
I can't give you too much information on that. We do have additional content plans, so just stay tuned. It's a lot of new and exciting things coming out.
That's exciting to hear. Aside from all the awesome Survios titles, are there any games or media or hardware or anything that you're looking forward to coming out this year?
Well, I heard you say you saw the Creed 2 trailer yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
That got me so pumped.
Yeah,
I
me too.
cannot wait for the movie. Yeah, like after the DMX song hit, everybody knows here I love DMX. I just wanted to jump into the PvP right away and just punch somebody in the face. But other than that, I'm really excited for the new Metro game that's coming out. I'm a huge Metro fan.
Oh, sweet.
I think Metro Exodus, yeah. So I'm just crazy pumped for that.
Yeah, it is really, really cool looking. I agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you like the best about PC gaming?
I've been PC gamer since I was a kid. I love my consoles for exclusive games, but when I play a game that's I can find on PC, I have to have 60 frames and I have to have everything maxed out.
Yeah, there we go.
Right? I have to have the latest hardware. So, and PC definitely allows me. Like, if it's not running at 60 hertz and everything maxed out, I need to upgrade my graphics card. There's just no other questions about it.
Yeah, yeah, I'm the same way, man. I've always been a PC gamer too. I absolutely love it. Well, before you go, tell people about Survios, your other titles, where they can find you guys.
So this is our fourth game. Our first game was Raw Data. Then we had Sprint Vector, and we had Electronauts. You can check out all our games that are actually out on all platforms, which is PSVR, Oculus, and Vive. And you can get us on Steam, Oculus, PSVR Store. Creed is actually on physical discs, so you can pick it up in Target, Best Buy, or any other kind of brick and mortar store. So yeah, please check out our games.
Awesome. Eugene, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Say hello to the team for me. Have a fantastic weekend, and thank you guys for joining us. And congrats again. Go enjoy that party.
Appreciate it. You guys have a good one.
You too.
Bye.
That was awesome. Thank you again to Survio Studios and Eugene Elkin for joining us. Up next is Ask Origin PC. Hopefully you've been asking some questions so we can answer them. If you haven't, ask them now. I'm trying to delay it as much as I can. So we had a lot of questions already. What? I don't even know what that is. I have no idea what that means. What are your views on the RTX series? Man, I talked about this on an earlier show, but I'm
talking last week.
Yeah. I am super amped for it. So for those that don't know, I mentioned this last week, but at PAX West, NVIDIA invited us to get a demo of RTX in their private booth, and it was crazy. We played a game that was unreleased, which I can't say. We had a toggle switch on the keyboard that turned RTX on and off, and it was mind-blowing just to see the differences. What really blew me away, though, was the explanation of what ray tracing really is, which is essentially developers back in the day would have to create lights and shadows manually. They'd have to look at a room that they've made with a character in it and kind of decipher how the light and the shadows were going to affect the room and kind of hand draw it. It's extremely time consuming for environments, for interiors, for characters, everything. With ray tracing, what that does is the developer would choose a light source, choose the luminosity, and it just takes care of the rest. It just works. My favorite tagline ever. And it just fills the room with shadows and lighting, and the depth of shadows is noticeable. The depth of lighting is noticeable. RTX is bringing that to us. Before, ray tracing has been around for a while. Obviously, it's been used in movies and CGI for quite some time, but the machinery needed to run something like that is crazy expensive, and a lot of power that wasn't available to just a standard consumer. Now it's being brought to the consumer, which is great. There's not any ray tracing games available yet, which is everyone's gripe, which I understand, but for most people like myself, I like future proofing, so I'm definitely picking up a 2080 Ti when it's available. The amount of stuff that you're going to be able to do, the amount of time that developers are going to be able to save with ray tracing is crazy, which means they can pump out games faster or add more stuff to their games, which is great. The amount of detail and different elements that are going to be brought to gaming with ray tracing now is mind-blowing to think about. In VR, even, like we were just talking about VR, to be able to see realistic lighting and shadows in a game to bring that realism to life.
It's going to change the whole game.
It's going to change everything. Reflections in games. I remember someone describing how you could see the reflection of someone behind you through your scope in Battlefield. so you could see someone sneaking up behind you, which is crazy cool to think about. The lighting in itself just makes the game so much more realistic looking. Even a game that's would be okay or mediocre looking for today's standards, when you throw in ray tracing in there, it's pretty incredible. It's pretty incredible, and I'm super excited. Just the future of gaming is like in front of us, and I'm such a humongous fan of the community and game development and games in general and PC gaming in general. So to see and just imagine the possibilities of stuff that's going to be available to us in the very near future is something that has me very, very excited. So I'm very excited about RTX personally. Sorry, that was a very long-winded answer, but I'm very passionate about it. Are you going to try The Exorcist in VR? No, next question. I'm not. I hate horror games, man. I hate playing them on PC or console, just like being far away from my screen.
Gosh.
I can't do it. In VR,
Imagine Slender Man.
I've tried. Don't get me wrong. I've tried. I'm like, oh, I'm just going to give it a whirl. I can't. Dude, I was doing virtual desktop the other night, and I was watching a comedy show on Netflix, but in the virtual desktop, I was in a cinema. There was this big, humongous theater, and it was like completely empty and dark, and I'm watching Bill Burr stand up on Netflix, and I'm looking over my shoulder, like, did I see someone in the theater with me? Like, even just sitting in a theater alone in VR was eerie to me. I cannot do a scary VR game. If I did, I would probably create some sort of content to entertain you all with my girlish screams. On the subject of VR money, no object, what would you suggest? Vive or Rift, as I just got a new PC Ryzen 7, NVIDIA 2080-30. Ooh, nice system. So what would I suggest? So the Vive and the Rift are both viable options. I can tell you from personal experience, I've tried both. And here is my quick synopsis of what you should consider. What type of space do you have? If you have a lot of space, I would probably go with the Vive. The Vive is more expensive, but it offers slightly better hardware. The libraries are about equal, so I wouldn't concern myself over what's available for what. They're about equal. There are some platform-specific ones, but there's ways to skirt around that. And either way, each one of them you're going to be in good shape with. Now, with the Vive, you're definitely paying for slightly better hardware, which is capable of doing more stuff in the future. The Oculus, though, is a much better price point. It's $100 less. I like, personally, the Vive headset a bit better because it comes with the headphones. It's a little bit lighter, and the controllers I really enjoy. They're super ergonomic, where the Vive controllers are a little bit longer, but you don't accidentally push buttons like you do with the Vive one, with the Oculus one. So it's really dependent on what you want. I'd say if you have a smaller space, probably go with the Vive. It's a cooler experience. Plus, I mean, you know, they both offer great support. You got Facebook on one end with Oculus, you got Steam and Valve on the other end with the Vive, so support's there. But Facebook is pumping in a lot of money into the Oculus, so the stuff coming out for it's going to be pretty cool. I don't know. I mean, if right now I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to go with my purchase as well, and I'm leaning towards the Oculus. So if that helps, it's the best I could do, man. I'm sorry. What's the most expensive PC you've sold, man? It's hard. There's been a ton. You weren't here. We've talked about this before, but we did do a crazy package back in the day that was for a Saudi prince. Oh my gosh. And he ordered a custom-made PC, which was about as tall as I was. Wow. Had it completely custom painted from top to bottom with the Audi logo and Audi theme.
Nice.
It had about 40 fans in it because it was completely liquid cooled. It had a bunch of different LCD panels. It had 4 Titan X's at the time. It had 2 dual Xeon processors, about 20 to 30 hard drives, SSDs and mechanical, all liquid cooled as well. The whole thing was completely liquid cooled. It had custom RGB lighting. It had wheels on the bottom to roll it around. The amount of work it took going into it. So here's what you have to factor. All that hardware, all that custom hardware, the custom theme paint job, the amount of work that went into it, so the amount of man hours, there's pay involved for that. He also ordered, I believe, a 70-inch 4K display for it, and a ton of additional. I had a custom crate that had to be created for it. A ton of additional peripherals. I think all in all, it was close to $35,000 to $40,000.
Wow.
The whole thing. So that would probably be the most expensive thing we sell.
That's crazy.
Have you guys played Warframe? Yes, and I think it's really cool. Copy their model and now they have proof of success. Absolutely. The free-to-play model keeps working. Have you tried it?
Yeah, I played it.
Yeah, what do you think?
It's fun. I enjoy it because of obviously the free-to-play model. At first, I was really confused when I was playing it. I thought it was just like a single, like story mode type of game, and then I realized, oh snap, you can have other people join you on these quests and stuff, and you can earn things and things like that. And it was just a lot of fun, honestly, for a game. And for me, like I like those types of games where you can play and you kind of earn rewards. So you feel like you're putting the time in and you're getting something out of it, and you can play with other people as well, which is always fun.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I think it's very cool. They made the free to play model very, 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 very simplistic and something that anyone can get into, and you can even get into it and not spend any money and still have a great time. Yeah. I love the free to play model personally because it lets me try a game to the extent that I can, and then if I really enjoy it, I don't mind throwing money into it.
Absolutely.
Like League, when it first came out, when I was really into it, I fell in love like immediately, and I played it for free for a while, but then I started getting really involved, so I started buying extra skins and heroes and or champs, whatever they call them. And yeah, I don't mind doing it for any game that I really enjoy. I love the model, and I agree with you. They prove success, so for sure. Last one. What is your most anticipated movie coming out, and why is it Venom?
What?
It's definitely not Venom. Was that? That sounds like. I think I know who asked that question. Can you scroll up to the name? Is he still here? Nah, forget it. Don't scroll up to the name. Most anticipated movie for me, probably Creed 2, honestly. I don't really have another one other than that. I love that universe. I think that's it for me. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not
right now, at least coming out soon. Max Bunny, of course. Yeah. God damn you, Max. Venom, I'm not too excited about, man. I don't know. I love Venom as a character. Just that CGI models, kind of like I need to see it a little bit more.
It's one of those things that you don't know going into it. Like you want it to work, but you don't want it to be a flop. But it might be a flop, and
it might be. It might be. It sucks.
We are going to take over the box office.
Thank you, Venom. We have Venom live in the studio now. All right, up next is Post of the Week. Last week's topic was what's a PC gaming accessory that you think should exist. We received a lot of hilarious responses, some of which were too dark to share. But we could only pick one, and that would be at Zadaku, who wrote, Origin PC Live, a USB coffee machine, brew your much-needed dose of caffeine or decaf beverage with the tap of a hotkey. That is something that I would enjoy immensely on my machine. If I can get up every morning I jump on before I come to work and on the weekends and just bang out some stuff, and I'll make a cup of coffee and have to come back and forth. If I had that readily available on my PC, it would be awesome. Congratulations, Zadaku. Are you there? Are you in chat? No? Maybe? You'll be receiving a copy of Immortal Unchained. Please contact us directly for your prize. Sydney, what is next week's topic?
Next week's topic is you've been asked to make a haunted house based on a PC game. What would be the game, and how would the house be like? Examples include a Five Nights at Freddy's haunted house that recreates the first game with lifelike animatronics, a Far Cry 5 haunted house that features crazed cultists and dangerous animals from the forest, and a Batman Arkham Asylum haunted house that features terrifying criminals. Let us know your idea, and you just might be the next week's Post of the Week winner on Origin PC Live.
Too spoopy for me. Yeah. I see some people chatting about, I'm hyped for the Diablo Netflix series coming out. I didn't even know that was a thing. Is that really happening?
I didn't know either. I heard about The Witcher.
Oh, The Witcher's going to be awesome. That's what I want to touch on, though, is that I'm actually find myself more hyped for Netflix stuff than movies nowadays. I don't really know what's coming out. Like I said, I haven't visited a theater in a while. But Netflix stuff, I'm all over. Series, stand-up comedy specials, movies on there. Netflix is killing it.
They're
doing
pushing a
awesome.
lot of great content. There's a lot of like just Netflix originals from shows to movies, and I'll watch it and I'll be like, wow, I'm really, really impressed. Like,
oh, Clap tagging in the house. What's up, my man, Clap? That's it. Thank you for joining us at the very end of the show, Clap tagging. Go back and watch it. It was a doozy. Guys, that is the end of Origin BC Live. A fantastic episode again. Big thank you to Survios and Eugene for joining us for the guest segment. What else did I want to say? Sign up to our giveaways. Torchlight, Frontiers, Toshiba. Yeah. The Torchlight Frontiers has only 2 days left. The World of Tanks one also ends next week, so that one has a few days left. Sign up to that one. Sign up to the Toshiba one. We have other exciting giveaways happening very, very soon. A lot of them happening within the next few weeks, friends. Take care of yourselves.
Affiliate program too.
Oh, the affiliate program. Hey, friends, do you already promote Origin PC and the power of the O? This one? Is that the final countdown? I thought it was. Well, if you do, did you know that you can actually get paid for doing so? Sign up to be an affiliate with Origin PC. You get commission for promoting us on your channels. If you make a sale, of course. Just not saying the word won't get you money. That's not how this works. But you can sign up and find out more information on originpc.com/affiliates. Special news, we've actually expanded that so that anyone worldwide can become an affiliate. So it's no longer just US only. Go sign up no matter where you are. All right? It doesn't matter your size either. A lot of people were saying, like, oh, I'm too small. You'd never accept me. No, it doesn't matter. Affiliates are for everyone that wants to promote Origin PC. Become a member of the Origin PC family, friends. OriginPC.com/affiliates. Anything that you want to say? Any parting words?
Thank you for having me. It's been a blast.
Hey.
I hope you guys are having a good time. Good Friday.
Good Friday. Yeah. Good Friday. Good Friday, friends. Have fun. Play some cool games this weekend, because I will. Love you all.